Today I took two trades. One pretty bad one, and then this one was technically not in my plan, but it's something I go back and forth on whether I should put it in my plan or not. But it was something that I had in mind, that I usually have in mind, and I saw great confirmation, so went for it. So pivots were very bullish. They were all higher relationships here. So bullish trend, bullish pivot relationships. And then today's open was also somewhat bullish. It was opening above value, but inside range. And there was a bit of a rally overnight, but pre-market hit R1 and H4 and then started tanking. So it was coming back into CPR and into value area high. So I wasn't too sure about longing this because of this rejection from above range and value and coming back into range, coming back into this high volume node. But because it was opening above value, I want to see if I can long value area high or CPR. It was opening inside H3 and L3, but I wasn't too fond of longing L3, especially because of this rejection in pre-market. That was basically the thing that kind of threw me off, this rejection back inside the range. What I end up taking is the POC long, which is technically a setup. I could long at value area high if it opens above value, but inside range, it's either value area high long or POC long. So I have that in mind, but I never really write it down. Maybe it's just a justification to for me to take an in-plan trade, but it is a level I have in mind. So first trade, it comes down into CPR, not quite at value area high, but I see at 75.40 here. So right inside CPR. I see a little bit of a B shape here, and a bunch of sellers at the lows. I'm kind of seeing a B shape, not too much. I see a 20 range delta divergence, but I really want this candle to close. It is rallying up a little bit, but not much of a delta divergence or anything. And I'm trying to be really, really patient because I don't want to rush along here, especially in a downtrend since pre-market. I kind of like this delta divergence that's forming here. And yeah, but a bunch of buyers come in. Forms this 1 minute delta divergence bearish. Now it's forming a CVD hidden divergence. Now the delta divergence on the 20 range is gone. So all the kind of confirmations I had is gone here. But I end up, I guess, FOMOing into this trade because, yeah, technically this delta divergence is gone now, but I guess there was still B shape. I don't know what I was thinking, but it was rallying up and I just went in with one contract. I don't know why I did that because the delta divergence is gone. There's no delta divergence here. It's forming a CV to hidden divergence now. It's breaking above these highs, but price is not. There was a warning sign on this 1 minute delta divergence. So all the confirmations I did have are gone. And so I shouldn't have gone in, and that was pretty evident soon after I entered because it rejected, formed a delta divergence bearish, and started coming back down. And I honestly thought I should just get out of here at a 2-point loss, but held on to my full stop loss. I don't know, just in case, I guess. But yeah, I got stopped out real quick there. Horrible trade. Should have never taken that. I just entered because I guess it was rallying. Bad decision making there. So now I'm looking at it again at value area high, seeing if it would bounce there. I was trying to see if it would make this delta divergence here. I was kind of forming one. It was kind of bouncing a little bit. Also on the 1 minute, it was forming a high volume hammer on the 1 minute, but selling was very strong and it just kept moving down. So now it's under a value area high. I'm pretty much going to be done for the day, but it comes into POC here and forms a delta divergence initially on the 2 minute. There's POC at the lows here. Forms that delta divergence there. Does not end up as one, but there is a selling imbalance there. POC at the lows, although the selling imbalance isn't really that significant. There's kind of a B shape forming. So I don't want to take this trade because technically, although POC is a valid level, I didn't write it down in my plan, so I didn't really want to take an unplanned trade. So I said if I'll take it only if there's very, very, very good confirmations. So I'm waiting for a retest here. So the other thing that really convinced me was that these buying imbalances that started coming in. So there were buyers at this level here, and if they can defend a retest, I thought they could maybe take it higher. So 1 minute high volume hammer forms. The RSI technically is not a divergence anymore, but that didn't really matter to me. Buying imbalances came in here, showed that there were buyers, and now I'm waiting for a retest. And on that retest, hopefully it makes a CVD hidden divergence. So I have currently buying imbalances, B shape, 1 minute high volume hammer, and then the POC at the lows here. And on the 2 minute, POC at the lows. So I have that. I'm waiting for a retest. Honestly, I'm just expecting it to downtrend even more, but it comes down and kind of it tests that little B shape there, and it's holding. Buyers come back in, and there is this delta divergence forming on the 2 minute. There is also a hidden divergence that is forming. It's also a delta divergence on 1 minute, and that becomes larger as it goes. Selling imbalances come in, but it's on the wick here. More sellers come in, but forming a delta divergence on the 1 minute. And then a huge delta divergence forming on 2 minute here, negative 600. Put candle is green, and I'm kind of watching to see if it closes that way. There is another minute left in this 2 minute candle, and I don't want to just come down and break the low, so I'm watching for it to hold and rally back up, and finish as a 2 minute delta divergence. Another delta divergence almost forming here on the 1 minute, as it's breaking the lows, but price is not breaking the lows. So CVD hidden divergence there, which I really, really liked. As long as it held this B shape here, I was ready to go in. And now there's 14 seconds left in the candle, negative 950 delta, but candle closing positive. And then also on the 20 range candle, negative 750, but candle closing positive. So it does end as a delta divergence on 2 minute, and I get in long with just one contract, but my order doesn't fill actually. So I entered at 75.30 here, but I just kept rallying. I enter right here at 30, but I don't get filled. It just rallies, and I get a little flustered here, but there's a random drop that fills me and gets me in the position. So the 20 range candle forms a finish forming a delta divergence, which gives me even better confirmations. And then on the second 2 minute candle, it's also forming a delta divergence. So I'm liking this. Another delta divergence on the 20 range chart, so it's looking pretty good right now. 2R was at 39, but at 37, there's a rejection. P shape kind of forms and starts coming down. So it initially rejects there, and then bounces, goes up to 37 a second time, and then again selling comes in, pushes it back down. So at this point, I'm about 2 points away from 2R, forming a delta divergence bearish, and I don't want to hold this through because it's rejecting at 37, very close to my 2R. I put my stop at break even, especially because it's not really a trade that I technically should have taken, but also because it was a break and retest of this value area high. So on this downtrend, if it comes back into value, retest value area high, and then there's potential for it to continue downwards. So 37 was right at that value area high level, so I don't want to risk any sort of retest and then downtrend continuation. So I put my stop at break even, and yeah, 30 and a half was my break even, and luckily it supports above that and goes back up, and rejects again, but again forms a B shape here, forms a delta divergence again, bullish, and makes its way back up. So now I'm pretty confident that I'll go hit my target at 3R, but instead of putting it at 3R, this is where my mistakes come in. Instead of putting it at 3R exactly, it was pretty close to high of day, so I put my target at high of day, 46 and a quarter here, and it pretty much goes and hits 46, just below 46 and a quarter. It hits 46 exactly, starts rejecting, and now I'm just kind of freaking out because I'm like, one tick, it's rejecting one tick before my target. Honestly, I should probably put it lower, but yeah, I thought it would go through high of day. But yeah, it kind of struggles at 46 there, 45s. It forms a delta divergence. I'm about to close this, but it comes back and it supports, and it forms kind of this delta divergence bullish again. So now I'm like, okay, I should go and break through high of day. So now I increase my target up to like the 50s, and now it hits 46 and a quarter to the tick, and then it starts rejecting again. And now I'm in all kinds of emotional state here. And it hits that 46 and a quarter multiple times, so I would have gone filled there, but yeah, now I'm putting it back into 46 and a quarter, but that's too late now, and it's rejecting, and I just get out here. I got more than I bargained for. That was good enough, and I get about 2.6R here, but yeah, it kind of hangs around, and then big selling comes in, and it's been kind of doing that the whole morning now. So yeah, it did go above that a little bit, and then came back down. Now it's kind of downtrending in a choppy way. But yeah, if I just had it at technically, if I just had it at high of day and didn't move my target up to here, it would have hit it to the tick, and it would have been out. What, 3.5R almost, but I got this much, about 13 points, and yeah. So it could have gone a little bit more, but yeah, about 3 more points, but not bad of a trade. Yeah, technically this, I did not write this down in my plan, but it is a level I usually look at, and also it was great confirmation, so thought it was worth the risk.